Hi grade 4s, I miss seeing your beautiful faces, but I hope you're enjoying the online learning so far. Let's jump into today's lesson. We are revising rounding off to the nearest 10, 100 and 1000. It's actually so easy if you think about it this way. Let's say my house is over here and a little while down the road there's a Spar, and a couple of blocks away there's a Pick n Pay. Now, being confined to my house in this lockdown period, I need to remember that I can't really leave my house. But if I absolutely have to go get some food, it's best to go to the shop closest to my house. So you can see over here that the Spar is much closer to my house than the Pick n Pay is. So that's the one I'll be going to. And it works the same with rounding off. Let's say I have the number 14. If I look at the tens, my number is between 10 and 20 on a number line. And I have to see, is it closer to 10 or closer to 20? Now, if I count from 10 to 14, there will be 4 spaces. But if I count from 14 to 20, there will be 6 spaces, because counting from 14 to 20, I need to add 6. That means that 14 is closer to 10 than it is to 20, in the same way that the Spar is closer to my house than the Pick n Pay. That's easy, hey? So we will write it like this: 14 rounded off to 10. That's when we round off to the nearest 10. Let's do one more example. Let's say I have the number 76. Now 76 lies between 70 and 80 if I'm looking at the tens. Remember, we're rounding off to the nearest 10 right now. So on a number line, I need to see, is it closer to 70 or closer to 80? Now, you don't have to draw a number line every time. You can just remember this rule, that anything from 0 to 4 will be taken down, and anything from 5 to 9 will be taken up. So if I'm rounding off to the nearest 10, I need to look at my units, the one on the right. This is the number 6. Which is between 5 and 9, so I'm taking it up, which means it's closer to 80 than it is to 70. 76 rounded off to the nearest 10 is 80. Did you get that? Let's round off to the nearest 100. Rounding off to the nearest 100 works exactly the same, except this time I'm going to look at the hundreds and not at the tens. So let's say I have 652. 652 lies between 600 and 700. Remember, my rule is from 1 to 4 goes down, from 5 to 9 it goes up. So I'm rounding off to the nearest hundreds, which means I need to look at the one on the right, the tens, and that's a 5. Our rule is 5 to 9 goes up. So it goes that way, which means 652 rounded off to the nearest 100 is 700. Great, let's do rounding off to the nearest 1000. I'm going to keep my same rule over here. This time though, I'm going to look at the thousands and round off that way. So let's say we have 1,387. 1,387 is between 1,000 and 2,000. But is it closer to 1,000 or closer to 2,000? Let's see. If I'm rounding off to the nearest thousands, I need to look at the one to the right, which is my hundreds, to determine if it goes down or up. It's a 3, which means it's going down. So it will go to 1000. So 1387 rounded off to the nearest thousand is 1000. Hope you got that. Good luck with your activity.